friends, it's me, Rhea Peterson. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing all things kitchen again. I have got a lot to do to prepare for back to school, and plus we're just a family of 5, so there's usually a good amount of sorting, cleaning, eating that happens in the house, and so that's what's happening today. I am going to be restocking and tidying up the pantry, getting that all ready for back to school. The fridge as well is getting pretty messy, and I do have some meal prep that I want to do, kind of walk you through what we're doing for the week for meals. We're kind of busy. I've got a lot going on, so I'm keeping it really easy, and I'm just gonna share with you how I'm gonna do that. A lot of rotisserie chicken is involved. I didn't really wanna bother with using the crock pot or anything, so I made it really easy this time around. Got some rotisserie chickens, along with, I'll show you all my other groceries. I did a big Costco run. We usually have a pretty big one once a month, and that came around this time, so I'll get to share that with you. And I'll just kind of share with you my process, some tips and tricks that have worked for us. I am currently training for a marathon, and I also have another race coming up very soon called Hood to Coast, and it's a relay race, and it takes around like 24 to 36 hours depending on your team. And it's one of my favorite races. I've done a video on it before, I'll link it, but protein is key when you're exercising, especially when you're running and not sleeping. So I've got some really high protein meals that I want to share with you this time around. It's very niche doing a relay race and talking about it, so I get that it's probably beyond a lot of people, but it is very much in the forefront of my brain, and I know that some of you are runners and maybe would gain a little bit from there, or you can leave comments and help me know more. So that's the plan. I am going to make a coffee because we do have a lot to do today. It's little things, just little meal preps, things like that to make dinner easier. I'll share with you those dinners throughout the week. But otherwise, it's just getting breakfasts pre-made. I'm gonna pre-make some lunch stuff for back to school that can go in the freezer. Have it squared away so I'm not scrambling to do it right before school starts. And then just the normal getting things ready to make like dinner as easy as possible. I'm gonna make my coffee. I'm gonna pull all the produce out, get that soaking in the sink, get it washed, and we are gonna make some breakfast muffins. First, for the kids, we're going with pumpkin because I don't care what the calendar says, it's fall in my heart right now. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I would really love for you to continue to hang out with me. It really helps my channel get out there, and I would just so appreciate it. Let's get started. Okay, here is the haul. This was a big one. Once a month, we always have just a massive one to restock just about everything. So we needed more milk, and these are Connor's favorite cold brews. Lots of snacks and protein bars, especially going into this school year. I wanted to just make sure that was all taken care of. These Perfect bars were on sale, and so I grabbed a couple of these, and then these are really nice too. These ones don't have to be refrigerated, so they're really easy to throw into like a gym bag or your purse. And I'm not totally gluten-free, but my stomach does a little bit better if I keep gluten to a minimum. So I got some more almond crackers, and I already opened these on the drive home. These gluten-free ones are really, really good. And then just goldfish, chips, pretzels, all the things. They like to make like an assortment in a bowl of this, and then like a fruit for a snack. I needed more avocado oil spray. I needed some marinara sauce. This one was actually on sale, and it was a really good deal, especially I normally get the Rouse, which is kind of expensive, and this was half the price. It was really nice. Lots of bread, the regular bread for the kids. I like to have gluten-free toast in the morning with my breakfast. The kids eat a lot of wraps, and then for our dinners this week, the pitas are going to come into play a couple of times. And then the croissants, I saw this thing called a crookie, where you take a croissant and you fill it with cookie dough and you bake it. And it's all I've been able to think about for like 2 weeks. And so I got these croissants, and I might do that. If not, the kids will eat them for breakfast anyways, but I need to do it. It's like when you get a song stuck in your head and the best thing to do is to just listen to the whole song. We need to make the whole thing. So that's happening. And then Cheerios. Underwhelming cereal, but it is the favorite in the house. I got some frozen broccoli, makes a really quick and easy side. Lots of eggs. I have lots of uses that these will be for. We've been going for eggs a bit faster lately, and cottage cheese as well. We're going with the little cucumbers this time. Blueberries and grapes, just all the produce, bananas, maybe our last watermelon of the season. And I picked it this time. Connor has picked every single watermelon we've gotten over the season, and none of them have been bad. And I picked this one. And this might be our last one, either because I picked a bad one or it's just the last one we'll get before the season's over. And it will either end on a low or a high note, I guess. Oh boy. Lots of carrots. We go for tons of carrots. Turkey breast, like lunch meat, and then more Dino Buddies for the kids. And this is gonna come into play for some of my lunches. And these actually look really, really good. So I'm excited to have those. I got 2 rotisserie chickens because I'm gonna be doing a lot of chicken heavy meals this week. I just went for it and got 2 instead of cooking up a bunch of meat. Just because the price never changes. It's a really good deal. And then not food, but it's that time of year, back to school, all the Ziplocs go on sale. So I restocked on those. We have to send a bunch to school. So we got those as well. But that is the haul. It's a big one. It's gonna take a minute to put it away, but I am definitely glad to have gotten that over with so that going back into school, I'm not in a rush to get everything all refilled. Okay, I've shown this before, but for those of you who are new, I am a planner girly. I love this planner. I got it at Target. I will link it. But one of my favorite things about it is that it has the big sections for each day, and then it also does like the whole month as well, so I can really keep track of everything. If I don't write it down, I'm less likely to remember it. But what I typically do is just kind of plan out the week, make sure I have all of our different appointments put in here so that I can plan dinner. And then I'll like look through my cookbooks, peruse Pinterest, check the freezer, see what I already have, and then kind of plan out different meals. Breakfast, I'll have lunch ideas, and then dinners. I got a bunch of rotisserie chicken, and that is like the main protein of all of our meals. And chicken's so versatile, even if I were to not want to make one of the dinners that I've already planned, it's chicken, so we can really change it up. Like we've got some gyros that we're gonna do with chicken. I've got pita pizzas, which I can add chicken to, chicken tacos with beans and rice or quinoa. And then I do have some frozen chicken tenders in the freezer that I was gonna do a salad with the air fryer, but if I don't wanna get the air fryer out and we have chicken left, I can just put chicken in there instead. And then I usually will put in a couple leftovers days. And then Hugo, he is my oldest. During the school year, I was really good about this, but over the summer, I've kind of dropped the ball. So now that we're getting close to back to school, I kind of want to work that in again. He is capable of making a number of things, especially for himself and his siblings. And so I try to always have a day available and give him the opportunity to help make dinner. So we've got him scheduled currently for Friday to do that, but it could also be in the weekend or any other time of the week. And then on the weekends, I usually will have not a lot of cooking. We're either gonna eat out or we're gonna have leftovers or something convenient like something frozen in the fridge. This is usually when we are trying to get the most stuff around the house done, mowing the lawn. My husband and I are also runners. I'm training for a marathon. I've got a lot of miles coming up on Sunday, so cooking, no thanks. I will do most of my planning on Sunday, get all this squared away to then get the shopping done, and we'll like maybe go do the shopping on the weekend, but I am not cooking on the weekend if I can avoid it. And actually oftentimes Connor is the one that makes dinner on the weekends. So if there's if there's cooking. That is how I do it. And then I also got like what we're having for dinner board to hang in the pantry that I need to go hang up. And I'll show you that as well, just because the kids always ask, like, what are you having for dinner? And I can never remember off the top of my head. So we will write that down and they can see what it is. But that's how I plan everything out. I put my grocery lists in the notes app on my phone, and then Connor and I just add to it throughout the week. But yeah, that's what we do.
I was worried you blowed my reputation, but I figured it's not on me. Yeah. The way you're making me shiver, your hands on myself, I keep pulling the trigger, alright. This very finger for people like them. Oh no. But darling, oh my mind, I'm feeling so fly up in the zone now. I'm like a golden crown, whirling high up in the sky. Oh, it's the way you make me feel so good, feel so good right now. It's the way you make me feel so good. Oh. For people like them, oh nah. But darling, on my mind, I'm feeling so fly up in the zone now. I'm like a golden crown, whirling high up in the sky. Oh, it's the way you make me feel so good, feel so good.
Here are our ingredients for the muffins. They are pumpkin oatmeal chocolate chip muffins, and I'm not gonna lie, I picked it because it was pumpkin and chocolate, and I know my kids will like those, and I'm hoping it will be a vessel for them to eat oatmeal because they are not big fans of oatmeal. So we will see, fingers crossed. Send me all the good vibes. But it's just your basic ingredients: rolled oats, flour, and this one has molasses in it, which I'm very excited about, and then just all of your regular other ingredients. So I'm gonna throw these together really quickly. We've got the oven preheated, and this should come together really quickly. Well, making muffins for my kids has become kind of a regular thing in the house. It's one of the few foods that I can make ahead and freeze that the kids actually will eat, and it just makes life a lot easier. They're not huge cereal fans. They don't really like frozen waffles that much. It's just, there's a lot of limitation to what they will actually eat. They're not oatmeal people. So it's been tough to kind of find something that works for us, and muffins seem to do it. And so I've been trying different recipes so that we can kind of have a variety of things. And so far we found a few, and we are adding this one to the mix, hopefully. Alice really likes them. The boys still aren't sure because of the oatmeal, but this recipe turned out really good. I love something that I can make ahead, like breakfast muffins, and have them in the freezer, especially with back to school. Oh! Come on! Get out! Oh! Yeah! Do we still have no shells? That's a miracle. I shouldn't do that in the future. It says to bake for 7 minutes and then drop it down to 350. Good luck, muffins. Okay, so the muffins are almost done. I did remember to switch the temperature and add more time. Our produce is just out of the water. It is drying. So what we're gonna do next is get black beans and quinoa ready. I'm gonna do it Instant Pot style. I have two. Hi. I have two, which is really nice. So we're gonna throw those together, get those going in the Instant Pot, and then we're gonna clean out the fridge. Connor is great and usually finishes up a lot of the leftovers on fridge clean out day. So it's not as bad as I thought. He is amazing. But like the drawers are gross. Everything needs just to be organized, and we wanna get the produce back in the fridge. Alice is here hanging out. So we're gonna do that. Let's do black beans and quinoa. Oh, that smells so good. Oh, those smell really, really good. Here are ingredients for the black beans. I make these all the time. These are really good. It normally calls for a yellow onion, but I didn't have any, and I have a bunch of partially used red onions that I found in the fridge, or that I need to use up. So we're just gonna experiment and see how the red onion turns out. I think it'll be fine. But garlic, Worcestershire, bay leaf, which I really need to restock on, and cumin, and then you just got your black beans. It's really easy. And then for the quinoa, I'm gonna do it mostly with water, but I'm gonna add this Better Than Bouillon base to just kind of help flavor it. Quinoa is a complete protein, which is really nice. But if you were to make rice instead, fun fact, beans and rice are partial proteins on their own, but when you combine them, they make a complete protein. So if you're looking for better protein sources, pairing your beans with rice is a great way to do that. Or quinoa is a good option for a complete protein as well.
You got all your secrets. I can't seem to move this thing. You're pulling me out and I'm right back on the sideline where you wanted me. I'm by the byway, waiting for your lead. I don't wanna fall in love like this, but I can't help to fall for you repeatedly. I don't wanna seem to shaky. Oh no, like I'm sudden but I'm steady. Oh no, and they tell me to move on, find yourself more, but still I wanna choose you. Yeah, I'll choose. You know exactly how to look like this. Holding in a bag full of goods and needs. I need a night like this. Knowing it's your risk 'cause you're using it. You got all your secrets.
I have two Instant Pots. We got the big one because we knew we would have big kids. My husband is very tall, and so when we invested in one back when they were new, we got the big one. And then my sweet dad discovered the Instant Pot years later and insisted that we needed one, even though we already had one. But he got us a smaller one for Christmas, and so I got rid of my rice cooker, and we just have the 8-quart Instant Pot and the 6-quart. And it's actually really handy to have both of these around. I'm able to do a lot more quickly because I have a tendency of forgetting to start the crock pot, and the Instant Pot is so handy for that. But thanks, Dad. He actually saved the day. It's been really useful to have 2 of these. It's a weird thing to have multiples of, but I love having 2 Instant Pots.
Two.
Oh, there's 3, Rhea. I don't know what this is. How long has this been in there?
Let me tell you this, let me tell you right now, your exquisite kiss still burning. Didn't know I missed this passion in life. I'm addicted, so.
Well, clearly I need to stop buying the little cans of tomato paste and go back to getting the tubes. I used to get the tubes all of the time because I would get myself in this situation. But then I needed more tomato paste than the tubes could provide. Like I was going through them too fast. But clearly that doesn't matter. And I need to just go back to the tubes because I clearly needed tomato paste at least 3 times and opened 3 different cans. Oh, well, it's okay. I have a couple cans left. And then after that, just don't let me buy them anymore. Make sure I only get the tubes because you'll be there at the store with me when I think, oh, it's great. I'll just get the can. It'll be fine. I'll use it up. And that never happens. The cans just have slightly too much. You only need a couple tablespoons at a time. A little goes a long way. But anyways, that was a really long thing about tomato paste. I'm sorry for those of you who thought that that was very wasteful. I agree. Very wasteful. One thing that doesn't go to waste though is eggs and this rotisserie chicken, which we're going to chat about. That rotisserie chicken, that was the base protein for all of our dinners. And we did pita pizzas, which turned out really great. I was able to do like pepperoni ones for the kids, but I love a barbecue chicken pizza. And I made this, I just mixed a little bit of barbecue sauce with tomato, like marinara. We had grapes and tiny cucumbers with feta. And then I just put some of the chopped up vegetables that I had left over from the week on there. I bake it at 400 degrees for just a couple minutes. They're so good and so easy to make. And you can kind of make whatever anybody wants. And you don't have to make a dough, which is really nice. I don't always want to take the time to make pizza dough. So those were really, really handy. And it's like a multi-dinner thing when you have the whole pack of the pita breads and you're not making something else with them. I did later in the week, so we didn't make them a ton. But those little pita pizzas were a really good dinner, really quick and easy, and we could be versatile with whatever toppings people wanted.
Knowing there is more in life that I want. Now I want to embrace life. You and I side by side, knowing there is more in life that I want.
Now we're going to make one of my like breakfast or lunch meal preps. I did this later on in the week. Just one afternoon I had a window, and this one comes together really quickly. It's a protein egg bake. So it's got cottage cheese and a lot of eggs and some whole milk. I've made this before. I made it with my Hood to Coast video that I did. This one is really nice. It bakes up really quickly, and I just slice it into squares. And this time around, I did it with English muffins. Last time I did it with like gluten-free thins, but I couldn't find them. But the English muffins are really good with it. But this comes together, like I said, really quickly. You can tailor it to whatever you like to have with your eggs. I like to put spinach, tomatoes, red onion, and so that's what I did. But it's kind of dealer's choice with that. And you can make a lot of it, you can make a little of it. And I love an egg sandwich. It reheats really nicely. I just toasted my English muffin and you can layer it, because this one I make really, really thin. So you can have however much or however little you want. Threw it in the microwave, reheated it for a little bit. One thing I do to get the parchment paper, I crumple it up, especially when it's like all really liquidy like this, so that I don't end up like spilling it. It works really, really well. But once you get it all on there, you just put your vegetables, you bake it. I'll leave the recipe in the description box along with all the other recipes that I can. But I really like this one. It's really, really high protein if you're looking for something that has a lot of protein. And it's just delicious.
'Cause now you adore me, go right now, adore me, oh so cruel, oh so
Like I said, this comes together really nicely. I just have a little provolone in there with some Dijon mustard, the reheated egg, and the English muffin. And this one's really, really good. Connor had one. He had like 4 of those egg slices in there. Delicious. But we're just checking in with our beans and our quinoa. Everything turned out great. I do not recommend just dumping what you have left of your bay leaves in. They were really hard to find. But the beans turned out amazing, and the quinoa was just perfect. Okay, the fridge is done. The beans and the quinoa are done. As I was cleaning out the fridge, I pulled out the little bits of produce that I needed to use up for our salad jars. What we're going to do next is cut up all of the produce. I've already pre-done the kale, which I've done on the channel a lot of times. I can pin a video showing you how I do that down in the description box. But we're just gonna chop up our veggies really quick. I'm gonna put some of them in the jar, and then if there's anything left, I'll just put it in the fridge, and then the kids can eat them throughout the week as well. So that should be quick. I'm gonna use my produce chopper, which will make it go twice as fast.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.
Well, in addition to the egg sandwiches that I kind of switched off, sometimes I'd have them for breakfast, sometimes lunch, I also really love to have a good salad for lunch. And so I am doing the jar salads right now, and I'm really liking it. And I opted to do a mix of kale and romaine lettuce this time around. The last few times I've had them, I've done all kale. And I also wanted to do chickpeas in there. Chickpeas are really great for digestion. And they just have a lot of great health benefits. And even though I had an astronomical amount of rotisserie chicken, I do like to have meatless options as well. And the chickpeas are just really good. I didn't add any dressing. I have a tzatziki feta dressing that I'd made from a meal the week before, and it was just way more dressing than I needed for the actual recipe. And so I also wanted to work that into this week. So that goes into play with the jar salads. I used that as my salad dressing, as well as we did chicken pita gyros, so that I could use up this dressing that's why I planned it into the meal the way that I did, because I didn't want this to go to waste. It's really, really good, but because it has a lot of yogurt and feta, I wasn't totally sure how long it would keep mixed with all of the cucumber. So it played a heavy role in how I planned the meals, but everything turned out really good. The dressing was perfect for this salad, and I'll link the recipe. I think it's a half-baked harvest recipe, and her stuff's always really good. But here's the chicken hero. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's spelled like gyros, but that's not how you say it. We have a restaurant that we really like that makes these, but we can't always eat out. So this was our second choice, but also very, very delicious. I didn't even need to season the chicken. That dressing did plenty, but it was so good. Okay, so we're gonna tackle the pantry. It's pretty cluttered, but it's mostly because it has a bunch of unsorted snacks that need to be put into their baskets. So hopefully this one won't take long. I feel like it looks a lot worse than it is. And when we're done with that, we're gonna make our magical, wonderful, delicious, I'm hoping, crookies. And then clean up the kitchen while those are baking, and then try them. Well, having this pantry it's one of my favorite features of the house. When we were building it, originally the powder bath was a full bath, but we removed the tub and shower and everything and extended the pantry. It's directly behind the powder bath, and I do not regret it, except for when everybody needs a bath at the same time. That is slightly inconvenient, but otherwise, I'm really grateful that we had the means to have a house with a pantry and keep it stocked. It is not lost on me that that is not the case for everyone. And keeping it well stocked is something that I'm really grateful that we can do. My kids are able to have a lot of healthy options. We lean really heavily into produce. I did not grow up with a lot of money, but my mom always made sure that we had lots of produce. She did not buy a lot of like processed foods or anything. She really instilled making sure that you have healthy options. And my dad actually was the one that would make dinner at night. My mom worked swing shift at the hospital, and he always made sure that there was a vegetable side. So it's just ingrained in me that you have to have fresh things with your meals. So I keep lots of snacks. We're grazers in the house, but part of the rules are you need to make sure that you have something fresh as well, paired with your meals and with your snacks, just to keep things in balance, because it's so important to make sure that you're getting all of those micronutrients. And I also make sure I include the kids. Connor does a lot. He'll often restock things for me, but he also works full time. He works long hours for his job. He works really hard, and the kids also need to learn to contribute. So they offered to help with the snacks, I think because they wanted them, but they came and helped. And it was just the sweetest thing, and it made it go so much faster.
I've done it before.
Make them all plate the same way.
There's been a granola bar avalanche. Forecast today is a granola bar avalanche.
Well, with my kids in mind, I wanted to show you the school lunch strombolis that I made for the freezer. It's just whatever pizza dough you like. I was going to buy the pre-made pizza dough from the store to make it easier, but I accidentally bought pie crust. So I threw together just one of my quick pizza dough. It's just self-rising flour and Greek yogurt. And you just roll it out, cut it into strips, and then it's a Hot Pocket. I mean, I shouldn't beat around the bush. It's not technically a stromboli because it's not rolled. It's a Hot Pocket, but it's based off of the flavors of a stromboli that I make for dinners that Callum really likes. And they're really easy to make. I could make these in my sleep at this point. It's a little fiddly to get the sides pinched, but this dough also is a little harder to work with than some of the other pizza doughs that I've used. So it's dealer's choice, definitely, for your fillings and your dough and however else you want to make it. I will link the recipe in the description box, but Callum, who was talking about granola bar avalanches, he is my kid that really likes to pack his own lunch for school, and he really loves taking these. I just make them ahead of time, have them in the freezer, and then they will be thawed by lunchtime. and he is able to just pack his whole lunch with everything in there. He always makes sure he has a fruit and a vegetable. He's got his main, which at this point will be the strombolis, and then he usually puts a little treat in there, but it's really easy to make ahead. Callum tried these. He said they were delicious and they freeze up really, really well. So it's definitely one of our go-to lunch things. My kids are not sandwich kids, so having those options helps to make sure that they have a good rounded out lunch. But I'm just gonna finish up the pantry. We have a couple other things to make, but everything is coming together really nicely. We've got to clean up the kitchen. I've got a few more meals to show you, but we are almost done and it's almost time for those cookies.
No one gonna fight for you. Nothing else that I can do. You make me feel so damn good. You take me to the stars and the moon.
The pantry is all cleaned up and organized again. One thing I was doing while I was making everything was making sure that I was loading the dishwasher and washing things once I finished with them to make everything go a lot faster so I didn't have just like a mountain of dishes. So I'm getting the dishwasher started and we're going to pack up our quinoa and our black beans. These are one that Connor especially will put in his lunches. That's part of the reason why I made so much. For dinners, we use them to make chicken tacos with the rotisserie chicken. And to flavor it, I just use salsa and some cheese and cilantro. I didn't cook the chicken up or anything with any extra seasonings, but you could definitely do that if you wanted to. But we kept it really simple and plain. This stuff keeps in the fridge really well, and this won't last long, especially this is one side that Connor really loves to pack.
Funny are the times we've had. Always made me feel.
Okay, how hard can it be, right? I've got my oven preheating to 350, which is like your typical baking temperature. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make my favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe that's lived in my brain for 15 years. I'm gonna make that. And then I'm gonna cut some of these, not all of them. We don't wanna overcommit. I'm gonna cut them in half. And I'm gonna stick cookie dough in it, fold it, and then bake it. We'll start at like 10 minutes. I bet you anything, I could find a recipe, but I'm just gonna make it up. Okay. Woo! Well, with all my talk about vegetables and healthy eating, these are health for my soul. I love to have a treat. My kids love to help. You've got Alice there helping out. She was a very good cookie dough scooper, and she also made sure that it tasted delicious, which was very important. But I am a big advocate for just having balance, not being afraid of having sweets. It's just making sure that that's not the main thing that you eat all the time. These were really fun to make. It was fun to experiment, to show Alice that, we don't always have to have everything to the T. Sometimes it's fun to just try something out and see what happens. And she had a lot of fun making these with me, and they, no joke, they turned out really, really good.
Maybe it's a matter of time. Maybe it's a matter of time.
Okay, our experiment is in the oven. I have a bunch of cookie dough left, but I'm just gonna make some cookies later, throw them in the freezer. We have enough sweets right now. I've been cleaning up as I've been doing everything. So all I'm gonna do real quick is put away the clean dishes that I already cleaned. I've got just a few little things here to wash up, and then wipe the counters off and clean the floors. And then we're done and we can try the cookie. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited.
It was years ago, but how can I forget? We were 16 up all night. Love and heartbreak was our life. We got drunk and smoked your dad's cigarettes. Dreamt of a life in a big town, skyscrapers and neon lights. Ooh, I still think of you.
Cookies are cooling and there's just a little bit left to do to tidy up. I do not do meal preps every single week. It is something that I usually do more during the school year because things get really hectic with all of the activities. Over the summer, things get a little bit more lax, but it is nice to start getting back in the swing of things, get back in the habit of planning meals out properly, making sure that I have lunches to eat. I find lunch inconvenient a lot of the times. I will forget or I have to push it off because there's other things going on. So making sure that I have something that I can just grab and eat is really beneficial for me. And having the salads and the chicken and everything makes it that much easier. Taking the time to meal prep for my family, but also making sure that I'm taking care of myself because I feel like, especially as a really busy mom, 3 kids, it's something that can definitely be left to the last, like the bottom of the list. So, when mom is feeling good, when mom is healthy and taken care of, it is a lot easier to make sure that everybody else's needs are met. And I definitely feel that on the bad weeks, and I'm definitely very grateful when I take the time to take care of this stuff on the good weeks. But we are almost done here cleaning up. We're gonna try those cookies. I am so excited, but first we need to clean these floors off. They are disgusting.
You know it still hurts a little bit, but not that much. 'Cause if you want somebody else, who am I to judge? I've been thinking about you all the time, but that's alright. I'm starting to get used to it, think I'll survive. I met you in the summer, when you left it was cold. Said we loved one another, guess that we're wrong. I met you in the summer, our love was out of control. I've been going crazy without you, I'm so alone. I met you in the
Well, my friends, we are to the end. This was a big one. We did a lot, but it was broken up throughout the week a little bit, and dinners were really simple. So we were able to make a lot of food, but it did not take up a lot of time, which was part of the plan and definitely paid off. We have been crazy busy coming into the new school year, and it was really nice to not have to deal with a lot of involved dinners. These cookies are amazing. Let me know if you try them. I so hope that you are doing well. Make sure you're subscribed to continue to hang out with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.
crazy without you, I'm so alone. I met
Oh,